Hey, welcome back everyone. It is now June 15th of 2021. Now, one major Star Wars project that a lot of fans are truly looking forward to is of course the Ahsoka Tano series, starring actress Rosario Dawson, that is set to include many different aspects such as the worlds between worlds and the realm of Mortis and all these different things like the netherworld, the Force, that's really going to give fans a more vivid view of the mystical side of Star Wars, as well as the different side of the Jedi that we have yet to have seen. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you are new to the channel for future Star Wars content. Also, make sure to check me out at Mike01 on Twitter if you would like to. Now, moving on forward, we do know that both Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni are very much hard at work on developing over a dozen Star Wars projects. I mean, they're already working on Mandalorian Season 3 and 4 back-to-back as we speak, as well as other Star Wars TV series out there that's really going to propel the franchise in a new direction. George Lucas is also working very closely with Jon and Dave on other projects that are set to be announced by this fall. Now, the thing about Jon and Dave is that they are going to be transferring tons of Star Wars Legends material in the mix over to the Star Wars universe, and exactly how they're going to go about doing that is by cherry-picking many different stories from the comics, the books, the novels, you name it, even some of the video games, and throwing that into live-action form. So that's one major thing and one major reason as to why a lot of fans should be very much excited about the future of the franchise. Now, when we go ahead and examine everything related to what's been going on with Lucasfilm's Kathleen Kennedy, we do know that Kathleen Kennedy over the past couple of months has been having a lot of problems with the Acolyte TV series with Leslye Headland, a lot of creative differences happening between those two, which really isn't all that big of a surprise because this is Kathleen Kennedy after all. I mean, this is somebody that, really does not allow great things to happen. And not saying that the Acolyte is going to be great, I still feel it's going to be a very big, unsuccessful piece of the Star Wars universe. So, with that being said, given that both Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni are actively developing their new Star Wars projects, such as Star Wars Ahsoka and the Book of Boba Fett, however, it's described that Disney and its board members have a major plan for 2022 for the Disney Plus platform. However, in a recent interview with a Disney spokesperson, the spokesperson was questioned about if Disney would be replacing or firing Kathleen Kennedy from Lucasfilm, where the spokesperson went on to actually state that though it has been made very well aware to us that many of the fans have both positive and negative opinions of Kathleen Kennedy, we are very well aware that there are more negative opinions about her influence on Star Wars than the positive, and that this has been brought over to Disney as they are looking for other possible options of who will take care of and run Lucasfilm in the near future. Now, there are discussions of somebody to eventually take Kathleen Kennedy's place over at Lucasfilm, and that this has been a long, ongoing conversation that they have been trying to actually work out over the past couple of months that will be brought to light sometime next year by Disney. The spokesperson went on to state that though there are many over at Disney that still do believe Kathleen Kennedy has done a fantastic job with Disney's Star Wars, there are also others associated with the company that feel a need or, of course, drastic change for the Star Wars brand to stay, or to actually say the least, and who will be running it by, of course, next year. Now, this is going to be the most difficult decision that Disney would be making in years, and it is indeed an evolving discussion that is currently happening over at Disney. So, this is a very interesting progression of what the Disney spokesperson had to say about Kathleen Kennedy. It does fall directly in line with, of course, what we have been hearing for the past couple of months now, between, of course, everything what's been happening with Kathleen and how Disney's CEO Bob Chapek has been having a lot of conversations with the board members, trying to make things right. I think that, obviously, Disney's in a very much difficult situation right now when it comes to Kathleen Kennedy's input on Star Wars. Obviously, there's been a lot of problems with the Acolyte TV show. It's why that there has been so many different setbacks, so many different problems behind the scenes. It's exactly why we have yet to go into production for that show. And they're trying to push this thing for 2022. I don't believe it's going to make it for 2022. It's looking more and more likely to be 23, next year, of course. Now, on the side, alright, we also know that Kathleen Kennedy is preparing her own production company that is currently dubbed as Starlight Pictures. And she plans to actually make this a thing by sometime in late 2022. Kathleen Kennedy, we actually went over this a couple of weeks ago, that she is planning to eventually leave or quit Lucasfilm and Star Wars altogether to focus more so on her own production company by transferring many of the Lucasfilm employees over to her company. So this really does kind of give fans a little bit more of a vivid view of what's going on with Disney Star Wars and what's really going on with Kathleen Kennedy as a person, right? So here's the thing about all of this as well. We obviously know that everything related to, of course, Jon Favreau, Dave Filoni, George Lucas, they're all working together as a team to really deliver as much authentic Star Wars material as possible. That's a fact. I mean, they really want to make sure that Star Wars can thrive and become more successful than ever before. That's their end game. That is their game plan right now, is that they want to make Star Wars bigger than ever before and really try to be very much an inspirational piece for new Star Wars fans as well. So by doing that, they have to transfer over lots of Legends content. It's exactly why they're doing that. In fact, both Jon and Dave are going to be doing a lot of that with Star Wars Ahsoka, The Mandalorian Season 3 and 4, as well as a handful of new Star Wars projects that are going to be announced by this November to December. Now, about Kathleen Kennedy, alright? Obviously, we do know that she has no creative power for the most part over at Lucasfilm, only for the Acolyte TV series, which is great. Only, of course, Jon and Dave pretty much are calling the shots on all the projects aside from the Acolyte TV series. They have a big influence on Star Wars right now. They are calling many of the shots on how, even, of course, some parts of the Kenobi series should be done. They have somewhat of an involvement on that show as well, even though that they're not writing or directing. That's exactly why they got those promotions over at Lucasfilm, and exactly why so many fans around the world have really been supporting Jon and Dave, because these are passionate guys. I mean, these are creators that truly care about the Star Wars fandom, and creators that literally are trying to reunite the Star Wars universe, or should I say the fandom, to embrace this new universe. So, like I've said before in the past, I think that we're on the road to success. There is a light at the end of the tunnel here. Things are beginning to shape up. Disney's response about Kathleen Kennedy getting replaced or getting fired, it may have seemed a little vague here and there, but it's definitely lining directly up with what we have been hearing over the past couple of months between Disney wanting to actually get a brand new president over at Lucasfilm and how they're having all eyes on creators like Jon Favreau, Dave Filoni, and even a handful of other unknowns. So, like I've said before in the past, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know about all of this in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.
Night to moon, we hear them moans again.